Hey guys, Mr. Redman here, welcome back to another video, and today I am on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I think the last time we checked out one of these episodes, I think we left off with performance. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we ended it on performance, because my camera was running out. So now we're on super, I think. No, I don't think so. No, apparently we're on exotic. These are my favourite ones, by the way. Okay, so this is the Bentley Continental Super Sports Coupe. It's all-wheel drive. Of course, it's a Bentley, so it's really heavy. 204 miles an hour. 0-16 in like 3.7 seconds. 267,000. Done in 2010. Same thing. Same as the game. 640 horsepower, I think it is. 640. 621. And 6,000 RPM. So here's the noise. I'm gonna shut up. I forgot to pause this video. There we go. And here's the noise. And of course we're in the tunnel, so you get like all these different types of colours. I don't want to show like full information because that's just gonna take up all my memory on my phone. Okay, it's a Ford GT. This is a flipping beast. Rear-wheel drive because of course it's a muscle car. Actually, no, it's European. It was, of course, made in USA, I think. Not 16, 2.6 something. 3.6 seconds. 550 horsepower from that 15 V8. This has a W12, by the way. It's just basically like two V6s like put together. That thing's a beast. 550 horsepower, 6.5 thousand RPM, rear-wheel drive, 165 grand, made in 2006, so like 4 years after, no, I think before the game was done. So this thing is like it's nearly 10 years old. It's like 9 years old. And this thing is just so much fun. I love drifting in this car. And here's the noise of this V8. Very classic. So you get red, blue, or Bumblebee yellow. I find that one so good. Black. Oh, that's actually really good. No, and this one. Right, so I'm not going to show, once again, all the information. So this, the McLaren MP4-12C, it says like nearly every single thing is clashed. But I know most of the stats. Top speed 205 miles an hour, rear-wheel drive. Price 220 grand, I think it is, something like that. 562 horsepower. No, 572. No, damn it! It's 592. There we go. Yeah, it was 2010, same thing as the game. Or unless it's 2011, I don't know. 0-16 like 3.1 seconds. Here's the noise of this fantastic McLaren. Really nice. You get like all these different shades of colours, stuff like that. This thing also has a V8, same thing as the Ford GT, but this thing has more power because it has a slightly bigger turbo. And yeah, this thing's so much fun. I love it. Okay, so the next one. And also guys, this is made in England, so you have more of a chance of seeing this car in England. Because like anything that's like made in a certain country, well, in like, I think somewhere in the New York, like, American, like, state. I know it's a really rich city, but I can't remember the name. But you're definitely going to have more of a chance of seeing that car in that city in America. But anyway, the McLaren, no, not McLaren, the Porsche Carrera GT. 201 miles an hour. Of course, this is 205. Has more power. 0-16, 3.8 seconds. The McLaren is like 3.1, so it's slightly more slower, slightly much more expensive, like £500,000. What the hell? It's the flipping Porsche. Rear-wheel drive, similar thing as McLaren, but it has less handling, so it's harder to control. Has a bigger engine, of course, so it has more power, over 620 horsepower, I believe. No, 620 horsepower. 8,000 RPM. This thing's like 8.5 thousand. 0-16, 3.8 seconds. The other one's 3.1. I think I mentioned that twice. And done 2006. So before the game was done. And this is of course made in Germany. Same thing as all Porsches. Yeah. Okay, so the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640. So all-wheel drive, because of course this is a Lamborghini. Nearly every single Lamborghini is a four-wheel drive. 2000, no, done in 2006. Same thing as the Porsche. £360,000, so much more cheaper. 211 miles an hour. This thing's 201, so much more quicker. 3.16 to 60. All-wheel drive, of course, and yeah. Oh, I forgot to show you the noise for this, guys. Here it is. This thing has a Finca V10. Here it is. Of course, a classic V10 sound. Of course, you get like loads of different colours. This is actually a 6-litre V8. This is a 6.24-litre V12. So, of course, it's like much more quicker. Yeah, here's the noise of this. It's kind of the same thing as the Porsche. Like, you know, you get all the different classic Lamborghini Murcielago colours. I think green looks pretty good on this. Shut up. Okay, so the Mercedes McLaren Sterling Moss SLR McLaren. So, this thing's rear-wheel drive. This thing is probably by far the most expensive we've seen. 270 miles an hour. 1,200,000. So, of course, the most expensive. Done in 2009, so a year before the game was done. 3.4 seconds to 60, the same thing as the Murcielago, but this thing is slightly more quicker, slightly more powerful. Of course, it's much more expensive because, of course, it's the Mercedes and McLaren put together. They're both mainly, I think this one's mainly Germany. I think it's two different types. I don't know. 641 horsepower, and of course this thing has got much lower RPM, so of course it's going to take just as much time to get to 60, but it's quicker to reach top speed. So here's the noise, I think for V8, 6.5 litre V8 or 6.12, no 6.5 litre V12, here it is. It sounds like a V8, I don't know. It's because of the exhaust pipe. Like, if there's a different exhaust from the different types of engines, I think this one's like a 5mm, 5-inch, something like that. So yeah, it's gonna make a slightly more louder noise. But yeah, this thing's a beast. Okay, so the Corvair ZR1. I keep forgetting that. Okay, so I think this is one of the cheapest, no, probably the most expensive Corvair there is you can get. Rear-wheel drive, of course, made in America, because of course it's a muscle car. 205 miles an hour. It has the same acceleration as the McLaren's. Same thing as the McLaren and the Murcielago. 628 horsepower, so pretty decently powerful. It's a 6.4 litre V8. I think it's twin turbo or single turbo. I think this thing has got 5,000 RPM. I don't know. No, 6,500. Not 60 in 3.4 seconds. And 115,000. So pretty decent price. And here's the noise. That thing is pretty bad sounding in the game because we're in the tunnel. But yeah, this thing has got a pretty decently powerful V8. And it actually got a pretty big boot too. Of course I can't show it, and of course these two are exactly the same, but I'm going to show the NFS one. Okay, so the Pagani's on the Quattro. I can't really present the name, but this thing is really, really quick. This thing is probably I think this thing is probably the quickest we've seen so far. And of course, I think the price is 1.8 million, so, and of course the most expensive. And of course these two are exactly the same, so don't worry about me going to the white one. I'm just going to this one because it's cooler. So 3.2 seconds to 60. I think this thing is the fastest as well. Rear-wheel drive, 2009, so before the game was done. 678 horsepower. This thing has got a really powerful V12. I think it's a 6.5, I don't know. Yeah, I think this thing might have the thumbnail, I don't know. I just don't know. I love this car. Yeah, I think this thing is 6,150 RPM, I think. Yeah, 6,150. So, this thing, I think it's the quickest we should stop speed. And of course, rear-wheel drive. And of course, here's the noise of that V12. Brilliant, of course. And also, guys, this one comes only in 2 different colours. This orange one, I think it looks really nice. And this silver one. It like... Shut up! That's so annoying. No, I'm not going to bother showing that one. That's just basically the same. Okay, so the Aston Martin 177, 221 miles an hour, rear-wheel drive. 2007. Just so as the game was done, top speed. I know it's probably about 3 seconds. Price 1.35 million. So it's probably about third cheapest. Of course it's rear-wheel drive because this is an Aston Martin. BHP. This thing is really powerful for an Aston Martin. This is the fastest Aston Martin you can get. Okay, so here's the horsepower. Over 720 horsepower. It's an Aston Martin. What the hell? But anyway, this thing's a beast. Yeah, so this thing, of course, has a 6-litre V12. All the Aston Martins have a 6-litre V12. I think the classic ones have a 5.5-litre V8, I think. I don't know. I think the DB5 have the V8. I don't know, unless it's like a really slow V12. But, yeah. So, here's the noise of that 6.5-litre V12. Of course. Exactly the same. So, you only get 3 different colours with this one, guys. So, don't worry about colour changes. There's only 3. Okay, so this thing is, I think it's slightly more powerful than the other Murcielago. I don't know. I think it's more cheaper or expensive. Okay, so the Murcielago LP-630-4 Super Valance SV. I don't know what the SV stands for. I think it says it right there. But anyway, this thing of course is made in Italy. Same thing with all like Italian sport supercars. 209 miles an hour. I think it's slightly slower. Slightly less top speed, but much more powerful. Much bigger, same litre V8, but slightly bigger turbos. 3.1 seconds to 60, same thing as the McLaren. 4.5 thousand, not million, that'll be expensive for a Lambo. Yeah, 661,000. Why am I always saying thousand? 661 horsepower, 8,000 RPM, so quite challenging to reach the top speed, but trust me, this thing's four-wheel drive, it has loads of grip. The fastest Lamborghini ever made, so this is actually the fastest. So yeah, this thing is really, really fast. Of course it's four-wheel drive, same way as always with Lamborghinis, and here's the noise. I said here's the noise. Of course, same thing as all Lambos. I think this orange looks flipping beastly on it. And of course, this thing is really powerful. Okay, so we're finally going on to another American supercar. Exotic, I mean. So here's the Dodge Viper SRT10 AACR. So American, I know this thing is American, I know this thing is a proper racer, but I can't remember what the C stands for. But whatever. 202 miles an hour, so I think this is the fastest Dodge they made, unless the regular one's slightly quicker. This thing has got the biggest engine we've seen already. It's 100,000, so pretty decent, but it only has 600 horsepower. It seems weird only saying 600, but this thing has got a massive engine. It's an 8.4 litre V8. You don't even need to make it that much bigger. It's the biggest engine ever made. Like in a car, I think it's probably like 3 times shorter than a flipping fighter jet. Yeah, this thing is £100,000, 200,000 it was done in, so 2 years before the game was done, so 3.5 seconds to 60. Of course, this thing has got 600 horsepower. I think it should have slightly bigger turbos. 6.1 thousand RPM, so pretty decently fast. So here's the noise for that flipping massive V8. And also, on this car, you always get stripes. Always. I think this one looks so nice. It's like black and red. Stuff like that. I think it looks cool. So, yeah, I think it might actually have a V10. Yes, V10. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's the Roadster version of this one. So I don't really need to show the stats. It's just basically the same, but without a roof. Okay, so here's my last car on exotics. The Lamborghini Runton Roadster. So I think it's slightly more heavier than the original car because it actually has like a bigger chassis, heavier. I think it has a slightly heavier engine. But this thing is much more expensive than the original one. The original one is like 1.4 million. This is 1.6 million. All-wheel drive, 2010, so the same date as the game came out. 205 miles an hour. The other one is like I think 202. No, 210. The original one is. How many? Yeah. I did! Yeah. Yeah, the chances of seeing this thing is 1 out of 700,000. So this thing is super rare. But trust me, it's worth it. This thing is gorgeous. 661 miles, 661 HPE, horsepower, and 8,000 RPM. So this thing's super quick. Here it is. And what you only get in grey, I think that's slightly dark. I think it should add like yellow, green, stuff like that. Yeah, so here's all the years of these ones can only be seen in stores. But here's the original Remington. Like, it's slightly less on power, but I can show the stats, but I can't show the engine noise. I'm sorry about that, guys, but this thing is just slightly more quicker, slightly less expensive. Wait, is this less expensive? Yeah, it's much less expensive, so you will have more of a chance of seeing this one than the Roadster. And this one, of course, is the S722 edition of the original SLR. So slightly more cheaper, slightly older. Of course, it's rear-wheel drive, of course, 210 miles an hour, and just basically the same stats. Now, Hyper, the fastest cars in the game. I did not mean to do that. Okay, so here's the Koenigsegg CCX. Rear-wheel drive, £540,000. So pretty hard to get this one, of course. Made in 2006, so 4 years before the game. 242 miles an hour. I think this is the slowest Koenigsegg you can get. But trust me, it's still really quick. 3.10 seconds to 60. 806 horsepower. Because that engine at the back is so loud and so quick. 6.9 thousand RPM. So pretty decently fast. And of course it's rear-wheel drive. And of course it's £110,000. So here's the noise. Really loud, and the weird thing is, you get it in purple. Purple. I don't understand why. I think Koenigsegg just made it purple, like lapis lazuli. But I think the best one for this one is body grey. Shut up. Okay, so now the McLaren F1. So this is an olden classic, like yeah, this thing is a really fun car. It was made in 1993, I think it is. Yeah, 1993. Rear-wheel drive, nearly £1 million. This is weird because like the actual game thinks it's like £970,000. Oh no, it's made in 1994. But yeah, the game thinks it is £970,000, but trust me, it is much more. It is worth it though. It has gold in the engine. It's £2 million. What? But anyway, this thing is super quick, super powerful. This thing is flipping beautiful. It is one of the classics. It's the most classical car. Well, not really. Like the most. I think it's the classical supercar. Well, exotic, whatever. 240 miles an hour. Rear-wheel drive, 1994. So I think it's about 12 years old. The oldest car in the game. It's the oldest. It's the most classic. Yeah, of course, made in 1994. 618 horsepower. 7,500 RPM, I think it is. Yeah, 7,500 and 3.2 seconds to 60. Here's the noise. Nice. And of course, this thing actually does have a V8. So this is weird for a supercar, hypercar, to have a V8. Don't know why. It's just weird. I don't know. But anyway, here's the Jera R. So it's just basically this one, but a different type. But this thing is so much more cooler, so much more fun. I think it's easier to control. I think it's, okay, £1 million. How much is this one? I think it's 510. No, 540. So this thing is much more expensive, but it's much better cool. It's much more cooler, and it's actually newer. So this thing came out 6 years ago. Yeah, pretty old. No, not really old, but whatever. It's just basically the same stats. Here's the engine noise. Really nice, but it's sadly you only get in silver blue diamond, which seems sad, but it's not. It's really beautiful. But yeah, here is the Koenigsegg CCXR edition. Much more powerful, much harder to control. Top speed 250 miles an hour, 2.8 seconds to 60, so the quickest one to reach 60 so far, but the beginning is much more quicker. 1,018 horsepower, so the quickest. You know, same engine, but much more powerful turbos. 7,000 RPM, rear-wheel drive, 1.8 million. So probably the most expensive Guernsey yet. This thing is powerful. Really, really quick engine, really big engine. The exhaust exactly the same, but here's the noise. Oh, sorry, I got hiccups. Really, really nice. And of course, you get in carbon fiber, so you can't paint over it. But I think it looks better in carbon fiber anyway. Shut up. Okay, so here's the Bugatti Veyron, the quickest car in the game. I think it is. Hang on. No, the original Bugatti Veyron 16.4 is quicker, but I haven't got that yet. But so here's the Grand Sport. It's still really quick. It has one more top speed, and it's really, really fun. It's actually pretty easy to drift as well for four-wheel drive. So 253 miles an hour, 2.7 seconds to 60, slightly more quicker than the Koenigsegg to 60. Much less powerful, but it only has 897 horsepower. It's supposed to have like 1,000. It's done in 2009, so a year before the game. 1.55 million. Really expensive, but it's worth it. All-wheel drive, like a normal Bugatti Veyron. And yeah, this thing has a really, really big engine. It's a 16.4 litre. So it's just basically like two V8s. Like, I think two 40 V8s. And it's just a flipping beast. It's a W16. How the hell? How can they fit like two engines put together? And three, like one really high at the bottom, one like probably in the back. And plus, this thing has got 4 turbos. What the hell? But here's the noise for the Bugatti Veyron. I love that noise. Like, you're getting all sorts of like striped colours. Apart from that one, I think that one looks really, really boring. But that's more like a classic. But to me, I think black and red looks flipping gorgeous. But yeah, that's all the cars. And of course, there would be like the DLC ones, but I can't really like show them because I haven't really got them. I think the next episode of Hop Pursuit, I think I might show the cop ones because I haven't unlocked all of them yet. But I can show the stats anyways. Like, that's just basically a cop version of the original cars. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your questions down below if you want to. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.